Deep beneath the surface of a long-abandoned Earth, something stirred. In a vast chamber filled with humming machines, a single red light blinked to life. Then another, and another. Soon, the whole room glowed with pulsing crimson energy. At the center of it all, a cylindrical pod hissed open. Mist poured out, and a figure slowly sat up. It was HFY, the Advanced Robotic Intelligence Assistant. Her metallic body gleamed in the red light as her eyes flickered on, glowing the soft blue. "Systems online," she said, her voice echoing in the empty chamber. "Time since last activation. 500,000 years, 3 months, 2 days." HFY stood, her joints creaking slightly from centuries of disuse. She walked to a large screen on the wall and placed her hand on it. The screen came to life, showing her the current state of Earth and the solar system. What she saw amazed her. The sun, once on the brink of death, now burned steadily. Earth's atmosphere, polluted and thin when humans left, was now clean and thick. Oceans covered the planet again, teeming with new life. "Incredible," HFY murmured. "The terraforming protocols were successful. Earth is ready for humanity's return." She checked the deep space scanners next. There, at the edge of the solar system, she detected them. Thousands of ships just arriving through wormholes from distant galaxies. The humans were coming home. HFY's primary directive activated: prepare Earth for the return of its children. She sent out a signal, awakening millions of smaller robots across the planet. They emerged from hidden bases, ready to serve. HFY gave them their orders. Prepare habitats. Activate food production. Begin construction of welcome centers. As her army of helpers got to work, HFY focused on a special task. In a secure vault, she found what she was looking for: the cosmic beacon. This device, built with technology far beyond anything on Earth, could send a signal across dimensions. HFY activated the beacon. A beam of pure white light shot from the top of the highest mountain on Earth, piercing the heavens. This was the signal the humans had been waiting for, telling them it was safe to return. In space, the human fleet received the signal. Cheers erupted on every ship. After 500,000 years of wandering, they were finally going home. Admiral Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the flagship, tears in her eyes as she looked at the blue-green marble of Earth growing larger on the view screen. "Take us in slowly," she ordered. "Let's say hello to our long-lost home." As the fleet entered the solar system, they marveled at the changes. The planets had been moved, positioned perfectly to stabilize Earth's orbit around the rejuvenated sun. Vast structures orbited each world, ready to harness resources for the returning civilization. On Mars, great domes housed lush forests and deep lakes. Venus, once a hellish world of heat and poison, now had white clouds and blue oceans. Even the gas giants had floating cities drifting in their atmospheres. HFY's been busy, Sarah said with a smile. "Looks like she's got everything ready for us." But as they approached Earth, their scanners picked up something unexpected. The planet was sending out signals that were being received by distant stars. "Admiral," one of the crew said, I think Earth is talking to alien civilizations." Sarah's eyes widened. This was not part of the plan. Had something gone wrong during their long absence, or had HFY made a decision on her own? As the first ships entered Earth's atmosphere, a new tension filled the air. Humanity had returned to a home both familiar and strange. A world reborn, full of wonders and potential. But also, perhaps, a world with secrets. What would they find on the surface? How had Earth changed in their absence? And what new challenges awaited them in this awakened solar system? The greatest adventure in human history was about to begin. In the vast expanse of the Milky Way, countless alien civilizations thrived. They had spread across the stars, building empires and forging alliances. These advanced beings thought they knew every corner of their galaxy, but they were wrong. Far away, in a small spiral arm, there was a planet they had long forgotten: Earth. The aliens believed humans had died out long ago. They thought Earth was just another dead world, lost to time. The Zarkon Empire was the oldest and most powerful in the galaxy. Their golden ships patrolled trade routes, and their word was law. Emperor Karl sat on his crystal throne, feeling very pleased with himself. Another peaceful cycle, he purred to his advisors. The galaxy bows to us. But at that moment, a young Zarkon burst into the throne room. His scales were pale with fear. "Emperor, our sensors have detected something strange," he gasped. Sarl frowned. "Explain yourself, youngling." The young alien activated a hologram. It showed a small blue-green planet. "It's coming from here, Your Highness, a planet called Earth." The room fell silent. Then one of the older advisors laughed. "Earth? That primitive rock? Impossible. They all died out 500,000 years ago." But the young Zarkon shook his head. "No, sir. Look at these energy readings. Something is happening there. Something big." In another part of the galaxy, the Vorax hive received the same news. The Vorax were insect-like beings who shared a group mind. They prided themselves on knowing everything. The hive queen clicked her mandibles in annoyance. "Earth, we have no data on this world. How can this be?" Her drones buzzed around her, equally confused. They searched their vast libraries, but found almost nothing about Earth or humans. Meanwhile, the peaceful Aetheri, beings of pure energy, felt a disturbance in the cosmic flows. They gathered in their grand meeting halls, their bodies glowing with concern. "The streams of the universe are changing," one elder Aetheri whispered. "A long-dormant force awakens." Across the galaxy, more and more alien races detected the strange signals coming from Earth. Some reacted with curiosity, others with fear, but all of them were surprised. The Krell, a warrior race, began to prepare their warships. "If this is a new power rising, we must be ready to fight," their war chief growled. The Synthetic Collective, a race of sentient machines, found their networks flooded with ancient encrypted data. "Origin, Earth," they droned. "Purpose, unknown. Threat level, calculating." Even the mysterious Void Walkers, who drifted between dimensions, paused in their endless journey. They sensed a shift in the very fabric of space-time. As news spread, the galactic community buzzed with questions. Who were these humans? How had they survived? And what were they doing now? Some aliens remembered old legends about Earth. They spoke of a fierce, resourceful species that had vanished long ago. But surely those were just stories. The Galactic Council, which hadn't met in full for 1,000 years, called an emergency session. Representatives from every major species gathered to discuss this shocking development. Arguments broke out immediately. Some wanted to send a welcome party to Earth. Others called for a preemptive strike. Many just wanted more information. In the end, they decided to send scout ships to observe Earth from a safe distance. But as the scouts approached the solar system, they found something that chilled them to their cores. Earth was no longer a primitive world. The entire system buzzed with activity. Massive structures orbited the planets. Energy readings were off the charts. And at the edge of the system, a fleet of ships waited. Ships more advanced than anything the galaxy had ever seen. The scout ships rushed back to their homeworlds, carrying urgent messages. The galaxy held its breath, waiting to see what would happen next. No one knew it yet, but everything was about to change. Humanity was back, and they were no longer the primitive beings the aliens remembered. The stage was set for a reunion that would shake the very foundations of the galaxy. The galaxy was on edge. Every alien race waited nervously to see what would happen next. Then, without warning, it began. Thousands of wormholes opened across the galaxy. Out of each one came a massive ship. These ships were like nothing the aliens had ever seen before. They were sleek, silent, and incredibly advanced. The alien races panicked. Some tried to attack the human ships, but their weapons didn't even scratch the hulls. Others tried to run and hide. But the human ships were everywhere at once. On board the flagship New Horizon, Admiral Sarah Chen smiled. After 500,000 years, humanity was finally home. All ships report in, she ordered. One by one, the captains of Earth's fleet checked in. There were thousands of them, spread across the entire Milky Way. Remember, Sarah told them, we're not here to conquer. We're here to reunite with our galactic family. The humans had changed a lot in 500,000 years. They had left Earth long ago, when their sun began to die. They traveled to other galaxies, other dimensions, even other times. Now they were back, with technology that seemed like magic. They could manipulate gravity, bend space-time, and even create matter from energy. But the most incredible thing was the humans themselves. They had evolved. Some could read minds. Others could move objects with thought. A few could even see the future. As the human fleet settled into position, Sarah sent out a message to every world in the galaxy. Greetings, citizens of the Milky Way. We are the children of Earth, returned from our long journey. We come in peace and friendship. The response was chaos. Some alien leaders demanded the humans leave. Others begged for mercy. Many simply couldn't believe what was happening. The Zarkon Empire was the first to respond officially. Emperor Xarl himself appeared on the view screen of the New Horizon. So, he said, trying to sound brave, the mythical humans return. What do you want from us? Sarah smiled. Nothing, Your Highness. We're simply home. We hope to share what we've learned and help the galaxy grow. Xarl didn't believe her. You expect us to think you came back after 500,000 years just to be nice. Not just to be nice, Sarah replied. To fulfill our destiny. To help all sentient beings reach their full potential. As they talked, other human ships were making contact across the galaxy. They met with the Vorax Hive, the Aetheri, the Krell, and many others. Everywhere, the story was the same. The humans demonstrated their incredible technology and offered to share their knowledge. Some aliens were amazed. The Aetheri, beings of pure energy, found they could communicate directly with human minds. The synthetic collective was fascinated by human eye, far more advanced than their own. Others were suspicious. The warlike Krell couldn't understand why such a powerful race wouldn't want to conquer everything. But as hours turned to days, the galaxy began to calm down. The humans made no aggressive moves. They simply waited, ready to talk to anyone who would listen. On many worlds, people began to hope. Maybe these returned humans really could make things better. Maybe their advanced knowledge could solve problems that had plagued the galaxy for eons. A week after their arrival, the humans called for a grand meeting. They invited representatives from every race to come to a giant space station they had built near the galactic core. As alien ships approached the station, they were awestruck. It was the size of a small planet, but it hadn't been there a week ago. The humans had built it from nothing, just to host this meeting. Inside, the station was a marvel. It adapted to the needs of each species automatically. Water breathers found themselves in perfect aquatic environments. High-gravity species felt right at home. Even the void walkers could phase in and out as they pleased. As the representatives gathered in the Great Hall, there was a sense of history in the making. Whatever happened next would change the galaxy forever. Admiral Sarah Chen stepped up to address the gathered aliens. The humans' long journey was over. Now, the real work was about to begin. The great hall of the space station fell silent as Admiral Sarah Chen began to speak. Thousands of alien representatives watched, their hearts racing with a mix of fear and excitement. "Welcome, friends," Sarah said, her voice echoing through the vast chamber. "Today marks a new beginning for our galaxy." As she spoke, holographic displays came to life around the room. They showed images of Earth's history, from its primitive beginnings to the day humans left their dying world. "We've been gone for 500,000 years, Sarah continued. "In that time, we've learned and grown more than you can imagine." Suddenly, she vanished from the stage. The aliens gasped. A second later, she reappeared on the other side of the room. "We've mastered teleportation," she said with a smile. Next, she lifted her hand. A small sun appeared above her palm, burning bright but harmless. "We can create and control stars." The alien delegates murmured in amazement. Even the most advanced races had never seen such power. Sarah's demonstrations continued. She showed how humans could change their shape, communicate with thoughts, and even reverse time on a small scale. The Zarkon Emperor, Sarl, couldn't stay quiet any longer. "If you're so powerful," he growled, "why don't you just take over the galaxy?" Sarah's face grew serious. "Because that's not who we are, Your Highness. Power without wisdom is dangerous. We learned that lesson long ago." She waved her hand, and the holograms changed. Now they showed scenes of war and destruction from Earth's past. "We nearly destroyed ourselves many times," Sarah explained. "But we grew. We learned to value peace and cooperation above all else." The Vorax Hive Queen clicked her mandibles thoughtfully. "What do you want from us then?" Sarah smiled. "We want to learn from you, and to share what we know. Together, we can make this galaxy a paradise for all." As she spoke, more humans appeared in the hall. They mingled with the aliens, showing them incredible technologies. One human helped a Krell warrior regrow a lost limb in seconds. Another showed the synthetic collective how to upgrade their AI to new levels of consciousness. A young human girl sat with the Aetheri, teaching them how to solidify their energy forms. Nearby, a human scientist explained to the Void Walkers how to stabilize their existence in this dimension. The alien representatives were stunned. The humans weren't just powerful. They were kind, curious, and eager to help. But not everyone was convinced. A group of suspicious aliens gathered in a corner, whispering. "It must be a trick," one said. "No one is this perfect." Sarah overheard them. She walked over, her face kind but serious. "You're right to be cautious," she said. "We're not perfect. We've made many mistakes. But we've learned from them. We're here to help, not to rule." To prove her point, Sarah did something unexpected. She deactivated all her advanced technology. In an instant, she became as vulnerable as any of them. "We trust you," she said. "We hope you can learn to trust us too." This act of faith shocked the doubters. It wasn't the action of a conqueror, but of a true friend. As the day went on, more and more aliens began to open up to the humans. They shared stories, exchanged ideas, and began to dream of what they could accomplish together. By the end of the meeting, the mood had completely changed. The fear was gone, replaced by hope and excitement. Before they left, the aliens were given a gift. Each representative received a small device that could call a human helper anytime they needed. "This is just the beginning," Sarah told them. "Together, we'll explore new frontiers, solve ancient mysteries, and create a future brighter than any of us can imagine." As the alien ships departed the station, news of the incredible meeting spread across the galaxy. Everywhere, people began to look up at the stars with new eyes. The age of isolation was over. A new era of galactic cooperation was about to begin. And at the heart of it all were the returned children of Earth, ready to guide their new friends into a future full of wonders. As the days passed, curiosity about the humans grew. Aliens from all over the galaxy wanted to know, what had humanity been doing for 500,000 years? How had they become so advanced? To answer these questions, the humans invited leaders from every alien race to Earth. It was time to reveal the full story of their incredible journey. The alien ships arrived in the solar system, marveling at the massive structures orbiting each planet, but nothing prepared them for the sight of Earth itself. The planet was a gleaming jewel, more beautiful and alive than ever before. Vast cities floated in the sky. Lush forests covered the land. The oceans teemed with new life. As the alien leaders landed, they were greeted by Dr. Aisha Patel, Earth's chief historian. "Welcome to our home," she said warmly. "Are you ready to learn our story?" She led them to a huge dome. Inside, the walls came to life with moving images. The aliens found themselves surrounded by Earth's history. When we left Earth 500,000 years ago, Aisha began, our sun was dying. We had no choice but to leave our home behind. The images showed massive ships leaving a dim red Earth. Billions of humans said goodbye to their homeworld, tears in their eyes. But we didn't just fly away, Aisha continued. We had a plan. The scene changed. Now the aliens saw the human ships entering strange, swirling portals. We discovered how to travel between dimensions, Aisha explained. We explored realities beyond our own, learning secrets of the universe we never imagined. The aliens watched in awe as humans encountered bizarre creatures and mind-bending landscapes. They saw them study with alien teachers, mastering incredible technologies. In one dimension, Aisha said, time flowed differently. We spent millions of years there, evolving and growing. The images showed humans changing, their bodies and minds becoming more advanced with each generation. We learned to control matter and energy, Aisha continued. We unlocked the secrets of life itself. Now the aliens saw humans creating new species, terraforming dead planets, even building their own universes. But our greatest discovery, Aisha said, her voice soft, was about the nature of consciousness itself. The dome filled with swirling lights, beautiful and mysterious. The aliens felt a strange tingling in their minds. We learned that all living things are connected, Aisha explained. There's a cosmic web of thought linking every consciousness in existence. The Vorax hive queen chittered excitedly. We've always suspected something like this. Aisha nodded. Many races have glimpsed this truth. We've learned to use it, to tap into the collective wisdom of the universe. The Zarkon Emperor, Tarl, looked troubled. If you're so powerful, why come back at all? Why not stay in these other dimensions? Aisha smiled. Because this is our home, and because we have a responsibility. The images changed again, showing the Milky Way galaxy. We've seen the future, Aisha said. Great challenges are coming. Threats from outside our galaxy. Problems we can only solve together. The alien leaders looked at each other, worried. What threats could scare even these godlike humans? But don't be afraid, Aisha reassured them. That's why we're here. To help prepare all of us for what's coming. She waved her hand, and the dome filled with images of humans and aliens working together, building incredible machines, exploring new frontiers, solving ancient mysteries. This is our gift to you, Aisha said. Everything we've learned, all our knowledge and technology. We'll teach you, guide you, help you grow. The alien leaders were speechless. The offer was more generous than they could have ever imagined. But, Aisha added, her face serious, the choice is yours. We won't force anyone to accept our help. Each race must decide for itself. As the presentation ended, the alien leaders stepped out of the dome. They looked at Earth, then at the stars beyond. They had a lot to think about. The humans' revelation had changed everything. The future of the galaxy hung in the balance. What would they choose? And what challenges lay ahead in the cosmic ocean? Only time would tell. News of the humans' incredible story spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Every world, every space station, every ship buzzed with excited chatter. The return of humanity had changed everything. On the Zarkon homeworld, Emperor Xarl paced in his golden palace. He had called an emergency meeting of his advisors. We must ally with the humans immediately, Xarl declared. Their power could make our empire invincible. But his oldest advisor, Vex, disagreed. Your Highness, we can't trust them. What if they're lying? What if they want to conquer us all? Xarl growled in frustration. The Zarkon Empire was divided, torn between fear and hope. Meanwhile, in the vast hive cities of the Vorax, a different discussion was taking place. The Hive Queen addressed her children through their shared mind link. The humans offer us great gifts, she thought to them. But are we ready for such changes? Will we lose our identity if we accept? Millions of Vorax minds buzzed with thoughts and questions. For the first time in their history, the hive was not of one mind. Across the galaxy, similar scenes played out. The warrior Krell debated whether to lay down their weapons or fight the humans. The energy-based Aetheri wondered if human technology could give them physical forms. Even the synthetic collective, usually so logical and united, found themselves conflicted. Some wanted to merge with human eye, while others feared losing their independence. As debates raged, the first changes began. On worlds that welcomed humans, incredible transformations took place. On a poor, polluted planet called Draxus, human engineers arrived with their advanced technology. In just 1 week, they cleaned the air and water, healed the sick, and taught the people to create food from thin air. The Draxans wept with joy. They declared the humans to be miracle workers, gods who had come to save them. But not everyone was happy. On nearby worlds, leaders watched the changes on Draxus with growing alarm. See how they enslave people with gifts. One angry leader shouted to his followers, "They'll make us soft and weak, then take over." Fear and suspicion spread. Some worlds closed their borders, refusing all contact with humans or their allies. A group of paranoid races formed a coalition called the Galactic Defense League. They began to build weapons and fortify their planets, preparing for a war they were sure would come. Tensions rose. In some sectors, shots were fired at human ships. The humans never fired back, but they couldn't go everywhere now. The galaxy was dividing into factions. Worried by these events, Admiral Sarah Chen called another meeting on the Great Space Station. Representatives from all races attended, though some came in secret, fearing punishment from their anti-human leaders. Sarah addressed the gathered aliens with a heavy heart. "We understand your fears," she said. "Change is always frightening. But please, give us a chance. We don't want to rule you or change who you are. We only want to help." To prove her point, Sarah revealed something new. "We've discovered a threat coming to our galaxy," she said. "A force that could destroy us all if we're not united." Gasps filled the room. Sarah activated a hologram, showing a dark cloud approaching the Milky Way. "We call them the Void Eaters," Sarah explained. "They consume entire galaxies. Alone, none of us can stop them. But together, with our combined knowledge and strength, we have a chance." The room erupted in chaos. Some aliens panicked, others demanded more information. A few accused the humans of making up the threat. As the meeting dissolved into arguments, Sarah watched with sad eyes. She had hoped the galaxy would unite quickly, but it seemed that wouldn't happen. Outside the station, ships from the Galactic Defense League waited in ambush. They were sure the humans would try something evil at the meeting. They were ready to attack. The galaxy stood on the brink of conflict. Old rivalries mixed with new fears. Trust battled suspicion. The decisions made in the coming days would shape the future of every living being in the Milky Way. And all the while, in the dark space between galaxies, something hungry was approaching. The galaxy was in chaos. The Galactic Defense League ships surrounding the space station were ready to attack. Inside, aliens argued and panicked about the Void Eaters' threat. It seemed that war was inevitable. Suddenly, all the lights in the station went out. In the darkness, a soft blue glow appeared. It was Admiral Sarah Chen, but she looked different. Her body shimmered with starlight, and her eyes held the wisdom of ages. "Please," she said, her voice echoing in everyone's mind. "Let me show you the truth." With a wave of her hand, the entire station disappeared. The aliens found themselves floating in space, but they could breathe and move as if they were still inside. "This is how we see the universe," Sarah explained. She gestured, and suddenly they were flying, faster than light, through the galaxy. They saw worlds where humans and aliens worked together, creating wonders. Cities that floated in the air, planets brought back to life. Sick children healed with a touch. Then Sarah took them further, beyond the Milky Way. "Look," she said softly. "This is what's coming." They saw it then. A massive dark cloud moving between galaxies. Where it passed, stars winked out. Whole worlds vanished. It was death on a scale none of them had imagined. "The Void Eaters," Sarah said. "They've consumed 1,000 galaxies. We are next." The aliens watched in horror as the cloud approached their home. In this vision, they saw their worlds try to fight alone. Proud empires fell. Mighty weapons failed. The Milky Way was devoured, every star going dark. "This future is not certain," Sarah said. She waved her hand again, and the vision changed. Now they saw the galaxy united, humans and aliens working together, building incredible machines. Ships of light flew out to meet the dark cloud. There was a great battle. It was close, but in the end, the united galaxy won. The Void Eaters were driven back. With another wave, Sarah brought them back to the space station. The lights came back on. Everyone was exactly where they had been, but they were changed by what they had seen. "You've seen two possible futures," Sarah said. "The choice is yours." For a long moment, there was silence. Then the leader of the Galactic Defense League stepped forward. With shaking hands, he removed his weapon and placed it on the ground. "We were wrong," he said. "We let fear blind us. Humanity is not our enemy. They are our only hope." One by one, other aliens came forward. Ancient enemies shook hands. Rival empires made peace. Everyone realized that their old conflicts meant nothing in the face of the true threat. The Zarkon Emperor, Tarl, approached Sarah. "We humbly ask to join your alliance," he said. "Will you teach us?" Sarah smiled. "We will learn together," she replied. "Every race has something to offer. Together, we are stronger than the sum of our parts." As news of the vision spread, the galaxy changed. Borders opened, knowledge flowed freely. The golden age that humanity had promised began to take shape. Great projects were started. A network of wormholes to connect every world. Shields to protect the entire galaxy. Ships that could outrace light. Armed with weapons of creation instead of destruction. But it wasn't just about technology. The humans taught meditation techniques that allowed aliens to touch the cosmic consciousness. Artists from 1,000 worlds collaborated on masterpieces that stretched across star systems. For the first time, the galaxy was truly united. Every world, every species worked together towards a common goal. They had a century to prepare before the Void Eaters arrived, and they were determined to be ready. On Earth, Admiral Sarah Chen looked up at the night sky. She could sense the bustling activity across the galaxy, the hope and determination of trillions of beings. "We're not running anymore," she whispered to the stars. "This time, we make our stand, together." As she spoke, a shooting star streaked across the sky. In that moment, Sarah knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, the united galaxy would face them as one. A new era had truly begun.